सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल डिफेसिस को और दबाइए बेल बटन को ताकि आपको मिल सके हमारी वीडियोस की अपडेट सबसे पहले।
The Indian Navy remains adamant against the inclusion of government-owned Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in the $3 billion, Rs 22,500 crore approximately, deal for naval utility helicopters, asserting that the company's product do not meet the force's requirements. This had been conveyed to the Defense Ministry by the Navy time and again, sources in the Defense and Security establishment told the print. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's NA is not for us. The blade folding takes excessive time and the size of the folded bladed is bigger than what is required. In times of rescue missions or quick surveillance, the time taken on the blades is a disability, a Navy source said. The print had on May 30 reported that the project could become the first challenge for the Narendra Modi-led government under its new Atmanirbhar Bharat, Self-Reliant India, initiative in the defence sector. The naval utility helicopter is being pursued under a strategic partnership model focused on the Indian private industry meeting manufacturing needs through tie-ups with foreign vendors. The entire aim of the strategic partnership is to help the creation of a defence hub in the country from the private sector. Naval utility helicopter program is like the Maruti car program, which will lead to creation of a private helicopter manufacturing and servicing ecosystem, the Navy source quoted above said. Another source said that an assessment carried out by the Navy has found that advanced light helicopters does not meet the force's requirements. Private players also objected to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's possible inclusion. The Navy has been desperate to replace its Chetak of 1960s vintage with naval utility helicopter. The naval utility helicopters are to be utilized for multiple roles, including search and rescue, casualty evacuation and low-intensity maritime operations, besides torpedo drops. The Navy had received 8 responses to the expression of interest issued in February last year, as part of its plan to purchase 111 helicopters for Rs 21,738 crore. The India-Japan summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is scheduled for early next month, people familiar with the development said. The two leaders are also expected to sign off on a key military logistic pact, acquisition and cross-servicing agreement, and discuss the possibility of some Japanese manufacturing units shifting to India. According to South Bloc officials, the two countries were earlier looking at the possibility of holding the meeting in October. It has since then been advanced tentatively to September 10. The summit, initially proposed to be held in Guwahati on December 15 to 17, 2019, was postponed due to protests against the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act in Assam. The summit comes against the backdrop of aggressive moves by the Chinese People's Liberation Army in India's East Ladakh sector and Japan's Senkaku Islands, respectively. Diplomats said the two leaders will not only discuss the Chinese aggression in Ladakh and the South China Sea but also cement the concept of Quad, the quadrilateral coalition of 4 countries: India, Japan, Australia, and the US. The 4 Quad countries have increasingly focused on countering Beijing's wolf warrior diplomacy and keeping the sea lanes of communication open for freedom of navigation. The acquisition and cross-servicing agreement, which is key to India and Japan extending support and logistics to each other's military, is expected to be annealed by the two leaders. New Delhi already has a similar agreement with other 2 Quad members, Australia and the US. India's formal decision to invite Australia to the Malabar naval exercises later this year is expected soon, but officials have made it clear that it is a formality. Australia's inclusion to the military drills that has in the past included the other 3 Quad members India, Japan, and the United States would be the first time that the grouping will be engaged at a military level. Officials said PM Modi and PM Abe will discuss at length the Indo-Pacific region and the challenges it faces from the Middle Kingdom. On August 15, when the country was celebrating the 74th anniversary of independence and Prime Minister Narendra Modi was warning Pakistan and China to not engage in anti-India activities, a group of Indian hackers were busy in giving a befitting reply to Pakistan's agenda on Ram Temple and Kashmir. On this Independence Day, a group of Indian hackers succeeding in hacking over 80 websites of Pakistan and hoisted the Indian tricolour on these websites. The Indian hackers went on to hack one websites after another while conveying the message of India's pride. Not only this, the group of hackers which calls itself Indian Cyber Troops, hacked the Pakistani website and posted a picture of Lord Ram and wrote Ram Lala Hum Eej, will build temple in Pakistan and Karachi too. The hacking of so many websites in one single day left Pakistanis upset and they took to social media to vent their anger. Talking to Z News, these hackers said that it is only their tribute to the Indian Armed Forces and they will not allow anyone to threaten the sovereignty of India. The hackers made it clear that they do not work for anyone and are only interested in teaching a lesson to those who are against India. Earlier, these hackers had also gave a befitting reply to Nepal by hacking their websites and advising Kathmandu to act smartly. When on India's Independence Day, Pakistan was trying to push its false agenda on Kashmir, our hackers showed Pakistan its real place by hacking several of its websites and hoisting India's national flag on these websites. Notably, it's being 2 days that several Pakistani websites were hacked and tricolour is still flying on many of these websites and Pakistani IT experts are finding it tough to remove the Indian flag. Fishermen were in for a surprise when they netted a target drone during deep-sea fishing near Talapata in Odisha's Balasore district on Monday. According to sources, the catch was a Mejit B.T.T3 Banshee, a British target drone developed for air defence systems training. It was flight tested from the integrated test range off Balasore coast. The fishermen later brought the drone home. Talking to the media, the integrated test range officials said that the 50 kg drone aircraft of 8-foot length had fallen into the sea after the user trial. The unmanned aerial vehicle was flown as part of a radar calibration exercise. After the calibration, its recovery was not necessary, said Integrated Test Range Director Dr. B.K. Das. He further said that the testing was a routine exercise carried out by the Indian Air Force and there was no need to panic. As India faces challenges from LoC to LoC, Indian Army is preparing to give a befitting reply to any misadventures carried out by neighbouring countries. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh launched NAG missile carrier on August 14. It may be fitting that India sought to boost its firepower on the Independence Day of Pakistan. NAG missile carrier has been made by Ordnance Factory in collaboration with Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO. The entire project costs about Rs 3,000 crore. NAG missile carrier can fire missiles at a target located 7.5 km away. The missiles carrier can be manned by 4 Jawans of the Indian Army. NAG missile carrier has hunter-killer capability. Another feature of NAG missile carrier is that it's equally effective at night as it is during the day. The missile carrier has amphibious capability. This boosts its maneuverability greatly. While NAG missile carrier will be manned by 4 armymen, the commander of the group will be provided with independent panoramic sight which will help him for surveillance. The vehicle is equipped with land navigation system as well. Apart from this, NAG missile carrier has silent watch capability which can come handy in both night and day. Amid border tensions with China, the Indian Air Force has deployed the indigenous Tejas fighter aircraft on the western front along the Pakistan border. The LCA Tejas was deployed by the Indian Air Force on the Pakistan border to thwart any possible misadventure, government sources told India Today. LCA is India's first indigenous fighter aircraft. After the induction of the first 2 squadrons, Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently said the deal for the 83 Mark1AL.C.As will be finalized soon. The deal, expected to be worth over Rs 40,000 crore, will likely be the largest ever deal for an indigenous equipment in the country. There were differences between the Air Force and the production agencies over the specifications issued by the Indian Air Force, but the then Defence Minister, Manohar Parrikar, ensured that both sides reached a middle path, and clearance for 83 additional planes was given in 2016 by the Defense Ministry. In view of the Chinese aggression on the borders, the Indian Air Force had deployed its assets along the borders with both China and Pakistan. The forward air bases of the force have been equipped to take care of situations along the western and northern fronts and have seen extensive flying operations in the recent past.